You know what it is. Welcome back to my cozy kitchen. Tonight we are going to be making an almond meltaway cookie, and we are going to be making them Christmas inspired for the holiday season. These ultra buttery cookies deliver a delicious and delicate almond flavor. With a simple shiny glaze and a snow soft melt in your mouth texture, these little babies are guaranteed to disappear on your holiday table. All right, so first things first, we need a dish, and this thing's pretty heavy actually. We need 2 cups of flour, that is not 2 cups, Anna, that's a little fat. Hello. I'm gonna take this off of here. This is my little leveler thing. I got these measuring spoons and measuring cups from where else? Amazon. And I actually registered for them for our wedding. 4 or 5 years ago. They are honestly, they are quality for real. They are heavy duty. They are dishwasher safe. They're awesome. So awesome that I actually bought them for my mom because she loved the color. And she was like, those are really good quality. I was like, yeah, I know. So anyway, little side story. So you've got 2 cups of flour in here. Then you need half a teaspoon of baking powder. Is anyone else excited for Christmas? It's literally in 2 weeks, you guys. 2 freaking weeks. I can't even believe it, honestly. Then you need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And that's it. So go ahead and just give this a little whiskey do, and then just like usual, set it to the side. Okay, go ahead and get yourself another bowl. And for this one, you need 2 sticks of unsalted butter at room temp, which would equal to 1 cup. I'm so excited for this cookie. They're just like these little tiny bits of butteriness, and they're just so delicious. Okay, so you've got 2 sticks of butter. Now you need 3/4 cup of regular sugar. And go ahead and mix that up. Okay, now you need 1 egg. I also want to note, these are almond meltaway cookies, like I stated. You could easily, if you do not like almond extract, I fucking love almond extract, but if you don't, you could easily substitute vanilla, or honestly, I've never done it before, but you probably could substitute orange, peppermint. You could probably substitute whatever you want, but you can definitely do half the amount of almond extract if you think that it's too overwhelming, and substitute the other half with vanilla or whatever you want to do. So that part is kind of customizable, okay? So anyway, yes, I know I typically don't measure my vanilla. I will be measuring the almond extract, because if you've ever worked with almond extract, you know how strong it is. So you need 2 teaspoons of almond extract. Oh, Oh my God, I love the smell of it. It reminds me of a jar of maraschino cherries. And I love maraschino cherries. Okay, now you've got your butter mixture and everything done. Go back to your flour mixture. And you're gonna add this in just like little half-cup increments at a time, okay? And then you're gonna mix it, add a little bit more, mix it, so on and so forth. Make sure your oven is preheated to 375. And you've got parchment on that baking sheet. I'm just doing this low because I don't want everything flying out of the pan. Or out of the dish, I mean. It smells like heaven, you guys. Oh my God, the smell of almond extract is like, oh, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. That is always what I do to get everything off of the thing. Okay. Since my bowl is a little bit smaller because my other one is dirty, I'm just gonna go ahead and mix this up a little bit. All right, so you've got a pretty basic dough here. Okay, go ahead and get your parchment lined baking sheet. Okay, so with a clean hand, you're gonna go ahead and grab basically just like a tablespoon, okay? So just like that much. And you are going to roll these into a ball and place them on your baking sheet. You're only gonna be baking these for 8 minutes. They might look like they are not done, but trust me, they are. My mom always told me that when you do Christmas cookies, she was like, you always want to err on the smaller side because you're giving them away, or at least my mom always gave them away. And she was like, you know, then your dough went further. And I'm like, it's really smart, Kathy. Okay, so go ahead and repeat this process until your whole thing is completely covered. Okay, so now that you've got all your little dough balls on here, I could honestly probably fit more on here, but I'm a big person of like, you don't want to overcrowd the pan. Cookies are so freaking weird, you know? Okay, then you're just gonna take the back of a cup or a spoon or kind of whatever and just flatten them down a little bit. You're not flattening these into like a freaking pancake, okay? You're just literally flattening it out of a ball. So they're just gonna look like a little tiny disc. Here we go. Oh. Whoops. Sorry, dude. Forgot about one of you. Because they will spread a little bit, so. But yeah, these should just look like a little tiny peppermint patty, basically. I'm just smoothing these out because I'm particular, but you don't need to really do this. But that's just me. Okay, so now you've got your little tiny almond patties, and you are gonna go ahead and put this into your oven, 375 for 8 minutes. So while your little almond beauties are baking, you're gonna go ahead and make your glaze. Get yourself a small little dish. This is honestly so simple. All right, guys. You literally need 1 cup of powdered sugar. A couple tablespoons of milk and almond extract. If you're already following along, I did state that if you don't want to use almond extract, you can substitute with vanilla. So go ahead and put that in. And then go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of milk to start. And then add 1 teaspoon of your almond extract. And then you're just gonna give this a whisk until it all combines together. You want this to be a very thin glaze, but you want the glaze to be able to stabilize on the cookie. So you do not want this to be super runny, okay? But I can already tell as I'm maneuvering in here, this is getting too thick, okay? Like that's too gelatinous. So I'm going to go ahead and add that 2nd tablespoon of milk. And that's honestly it, you guys. Okay. I'm going to be separating just a hair of mine so I can make some red and some green. But I'm going for like a pale red and green. I'm not going for like, you know, like red and green. I don't want it to taste of artificialness, if you know what I'm saying. All right, so I've just got your good old Betty Crocker, and I am just going to start with one little dab will do ya, because if you've ever worked with food coloring, man, see, that's enough for me. I don't want any more than that. All right. Aren't these gonna look so pretty? Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, now I've got this one. I'm just gonna add a little bit of red, if I can find it. Of course, you know me, I've got everything all hodgepodgey mixed together. I almost want this to be like a pinky red. Oh, no. Well, I guess not, lady. That's okay. I don't really care. I just don't want it to be a bunch of like artificialness is all. Because you don't need a ton on these cookies. You really need very little. And honestly, I'll be making more glaze anyway, so I don't really care. Okay, and I've got my 2 little glazes to go on top of my little baby cooks. Okay, so I have been letting our cookies cool. And as you can see, they are absolutely perfection. The perfect little buttery, barely kissed with a golden color on the bottom. Absolutely beautiful, perfect almond Meltaway cookies. I'm gonna go ahead and place these on my cooling racks. As you can see underneath, I have parchment paper. You could also put wax paper under there. This one got a little large. I'll have to eat that one. Oh darn. But I've got, because you're gonna be glazing them, so you wanna make sure you've got something underneath them, guys, because otherwise you're gonna get that shit all over your counter, all over your table. I've just moved everything over on my kitchen table, So don't mind the high chair in the background and all my kids' toys and everything else. This is not an aesthetic home. This is a lived-in home. So if you're joining, it's chaotic. All right. And you're just going to lay it over the top and then let it drizzle off. Okay. And then you've got a perfect little glaze on top. If you try to do this with a spoon over the top, it's just gonna run all over the side because I did that already. So make sure you dip them. It's honestly quicker too. So, and if you get little air bubbles on top, don't fret. You can easily pop those with a toothpick. So don't worry about it. These are Christmas cookies, guys. I'm not an Iron Chef baker. So these are meant to just be cozy, nostalgic, but most of all, delicious, and they deliver on that aspect entirely. And there you have it, guys, an almond Meltaway cookie full of holiday flair. Let me know what you think of this recipe, and be sure to hit that subscribe button for more sweet treats and delicious food. Happy holidays!